Hey guys, Someplace here. Welcome to week number 13 of the Minecraft Sim League. And we are finally into cycle number 3, the last and final time these 6 sports will be played this season. And they could decide the champion. We'll be doing Clockworkos this week, but first let's look at how everything finished after the cycle number 2. At the top of the table, we've got the Flyers, 70.5 points. They did very well during the cycle, winning 2 gold medals back to back, and then the cycle win, getting them 20 more points, all the way up to 70.5. And they sit 20 points above the Chargers, who were in first until last week, now in second on 51. Then we got the Edge, 34.5 points, tied with the Tridents. It's the Savannah Cats, the Jockeys, the Cherries, and the Sunrays rounding out the top 8, and the Violets and the Bonebos rounding out the top 10. And then we go all the way down to the bottom where the Diamondeers, the Undead, the Hive Mind, and the Royal Hogs are looking for a way out. And then the underdog story of the season, of course, the Gapplers, getting another, I believe, half a bronze medal last week, jumping up to 15.5. And, only 2.5 points out of the relegation zone, but lots of teams between here or there and there, I guess. Um, but yeah, they are looking pretty strong as of right now. Speaking of the Gapplers, we get into our matches for today. Clockworkos, of course, and match number 1 is going to be the Flyers, the league leaders against the Gapplers, and then it's going to be the Sniffers against the Jockeys, the Bucketheads against the Diamondeers. We got the Royal Hogs and the Detonators, the Sunrays and the Cherries. Then it's the Pillagers and the Lush Dwellers, the Whitewoods and the Phantoms, the Bonebows and the Savannah Cats, the Copper Golems and the Dog Pack, the Edge and the Violets, the Tridents and the Chargers, and finally it's the Undead against the Hive Mind. But let's just get right into it. Match number 1, league leading Flyers up against the On the Up Gapplers. And here we are ready to go for match number 1, the first drop of cycle number 3. It's going to be a diamond to the Flyers. So they're up 15 points right away as we get into our next series of 5. Points going either way. Was that the Nether Star? I think it might have just been a piece of iron. Let's check here. It was the Nether Star and 2 golds as well. So the Gapplers are going to storm off with the lead here. Just 3 points for the Flyers as well. So after 6 presses, the Gapplers up big. As we continue on, some gold going either way, and that's 2 more points for the Gapplers as well. Not huge points there. Another diamond as well for the Flyers. So the Flyers cutting down the lead as we get to halftime, but not by very much. I'm pretty sure that was 5. Sometimes I lose count. That looks like an emerald, and the lapis will bounce back for the Flyers. They get an emerald as well. A redstone as well. Looks like the emerald was the only thing the Gapplers got. So the Flyers could be slowly catching them here. So Flyers still down by 30 as we get into our final 5 presses here. Gapplers maintaining the lead. It's a pretty low scoring, relatively low scoring. I feel like some scores I'm pretty sure have gone into the 200s. There's another emerald, and I think a couple more golds there. Ooh, we'll see if the Flyers have taken the lead. Just 2 more points for the Gapplers, and the Flyers have 30. That's another 40, so 70, 100. Then this is 105. And that is 110, 113. Flyers take the win coming from behind. And they will grab it here over the Gapplers. The Gapplers just getting, I think these 2 copper were the only things they got. But they only were able to get 109 points there. So actually a really low scoring game, I'm pretty sure. As Flyers will take the win. And it's a score of Flyers 113 to the Gapplers 109. Flyers getting a win. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near a medal, if history will tell us. Let's see. Our gold medal was 264. So, like, more than double what the Flyers just got was the gold medal in cycle number 2. And our gold medal cycle 1 was 199. So, we will see if that's enough to cut it for a medal. I doubt it. That did seem like a pretty low scoring game to me. It was 113, 109. Flyers get the first win from behind against the Gapplers. And we're on to matchup number 2, the Sniffers and the Jockeys. The Jockeys are ahead in the table, so this would be a good win for the Sniffers if they're able to pull it off. Then we're going to start with an iron, and it's going to be a 3-ball for the Jockeys. As we get into our next 5 pushes, our first 5 pushes of match number 2, Sniffers against Jockeys here. That's the Nether Star, straight for the Jockeys, but a couple of big points there. Diamond and Emerald going the other way. So we will see. The Jockeys are going to take the lead here, though. So Jockeys up now, leading the game as we get into our next 5 pushes. There's a gold and then a redstone for the Sniffers. A lot of things going their way here. That's 16 more points for them. And a netherite for the Jockeys will extend their lead. So the Jockeys up 93-54 now. As we continue on, looks like a lot of things dropping the Sniffers' way. Almost everything dropping the Sniffers' way. The Jockeys didn't get anything that round. And a netherite as well for the Sniffers. Another gold. I could even see them probably not taking the lead, but get them pretty close here. And with just 5 pushes to go here, the Sniffers do take the lead. Just by 2, though. And these will be the final button presses. A diamond there to the Jockeys. And an iron. They did get another iron and a couple more golds. And that is definitely going to be the win for the Sniffers. Pulling it out of the bag once again. Who knows how they keep doing this. But let's calculate this and put in our final score. And the Sniffers getting it done 143 to just the Jockeys 108. So the Flyers going to lose their gold medal here. Honestly, probably let's check the bronzes, but I don't think 143 is even enough to get a medal. At least historically, things could be changing. You never know. Let's see. This was a bronze medal was 184 in cycle number 2 and 160 in cycle number 1. So yeah, 143. Not historically enough, but we will see. It could be a week of low-scoring games. You never know. As we move on here to matchup number 3, and it's the Bucketheads against the Diamondeers. So we are on to matchup number 3. And we're going to start with another star to the Diamondeers. I think the Nether Star has lost both times. I could be completely wrong about that. But the Nether Star, 50 points for the Diamondeers. Let's see if they'll hold on to that as they start off with a 50-0 lead. We continue on. There's an emerald. 2 emeralds for the Diamondeers. Oh, no, that was a diamond and an emerald. Emerald as well for the Bucketheads, but the diamond as well for the Diamondeers, of course. So the Diamondeers get off to an even bigger lead now. They are cooking. Yeah, the Diamondeers up by 60 now. There is a diamond for the Bucketheads, a gold as well. Everything dropping their way this time, but it's mostly going to be Lapis here. Diamondeers not getting anything. But yeah, the Buckethead's not really getting anything either. So we've got 10 presses to go here. Buckethead's still behind. But, of course, plenty of time for a comeback. There's another right, though, for the Diamondeers. And an emerald and a gold as well. that could just seal it right there. 146 now with 5 presses to go. I think only barely anything will get them a gold medal unless I'm mistaken. Where did that emerald just go? Did that emerald drop in with somebody? I think I might have just lagged there for a second. I think the emerald dropped here for the diamond ears. I'm not gonna like pick it up if I run into this wall, am I? So the diamond ears getting their first big win, getting the first big win of the week rather. 184 to 72 from the Bucketheads. So the other games were a little bit closer. Flyers only winning by 4 points. The Diamond Ears going to grab the gold medal here from the Sniffers, and they're likely to hang on to some sort of medal. 184, pretty big score, at least historically. 160 was the bronze in cycle number 1. I guess that was also week 1. So, but we shall see if that stands or if things will be shaken up even more as we get on to matchup number 4. It's the Royal Hogs and the Detonators. Royal Hogs currently sitting bottom of the table, desperately needing a win here. And it's going to start with the gold, and it will go to the Royal Hogs, so they'll start off with the lead as we get into our first 5 presses here. Gold here. A lot of things going to the Detonators. No. A lot of big score, except they also got the Nether Star. And so that is going to jump the Detonators way out into the lead here. And the Royal Hogs still stuck on 10 into our second round of 5. I don't know what that was for the Royal Hogs. Was it a netherite? It was a netherite, which isn't even going to be close to enough by itself. Although only some small points here for the Detonators. So the Detonators still up by 40 with 10 presses to go. Royal Hogs looking for something here. There's an emerald for them. Can they put any more on that? They got some redstone as well. And again, no big score here for the Detonators. They're just kind of stalling. So I don't think the Royal Hogs are going to catch up here, but they are getting pretty close. Royal Hogs only down by 16 now. 5 presses to go. Can they bring it back? An emerald will do it. There's a lapis. There's an emerald, and it will go for the Royal Hogs. Let's see if that was enough. They got another netherite as well. So maybe the comeback is on for the Royal Hogs. The diamond could throw the wrench in their plans, but I don't know if it's enough for the Detonators to hold on to this one. So the Royal Hogs getting the win they so desperately needed, although they're not going to be anywhere near a medal. It's 112 to the Detonators 108. And they'll get the 2 points and be grateful for it, I guess. But we are 1/3 of the way through this thing. Bucketheads, the Diamond Ears on the gold, Snippers on silver, and Flyers by 1 point over the Royal Hogs in the bronze medal position as it stands. That one was just a 4-point game once again. So some pretty close games here so far. Pretty exciting, pretty low scoring. So we will see if those results continue to show up or if we're going to get some more blowouts. Let's find out as we move on to matchup number 5, which includes my Sunrays taking on the Cherries. And we are ready to go. Match number 5, starting off with a netherite to my Sunrays, getting off to a big lead here. So 25-0 is the score going into the first 5 pushes. And it's the Nether Star to the Sunrays as well, so they're going to get off to a huge lead. And another netherite as well. Oh my goodness, to 1. To 1 from the Cherries. Wow. So the score after 6 pushes, 15 to go. It's 116 to 1. We will see if that changes at all. I'm seeing some points there going for the Cherries. There's a netherite for them. They're going to need a lot more than that if they want to catch up. It's just a diamond here for the Sunrays, so they can't get too calm. But the Cherries scoring I think 47 there. Still going to be behind, but they are creeping up now. 10 pushes to go. So 10 pushes to go. Cherry's almost to 50. Sunray's got 131 here. As we continue, there's a diamond, but an emerald as well, and a redstone for the Sunrays. Practically another piece of netherite. 3 diamonds for the cherries. That'll see them take off here. That's 45 points right there. So they're gonna double their score. Sunray's still gonna be in the lead, but you know what? The gap is closing. The cherries need a miracle here, but anything is possible in the sim league, and of course in Clockworkos, where some huge points are often handed out. There's an emerald going to the cherries. Did they get more than that? They did. Another netherite as well. Oh my goodness. There's no way. There's no way. We are going to have to count this up, and I will be right there with the final score. This is close. And in the end, it was a final piece of redstone in the last 5 drops that saved the Sunrays. The cherries got to 156 on that last roll, and the Sunrays were there, but an extra 5 points for the Sunrays in the final 5 drops from that last piece of redstone that we saw get shunted over. That was enough to get the win and the silver medal for the Sunrays, and the cherries now in bronze despite losing on 156 points there. So it'd be kind of odd if it stayed that way. It's not likely to, as we have 7 matches to go. Let's get right back into it. And we move on to matchup number 6. It's the Pillagers against the Lush Dwellers. The Pillagers have been on a legendary run recently. They have not won a single game and have somehow stayed out of relegation. They are going to get off to the lead here, 25 points for them. The Lush Dwellers sitting on 16 points, which is enough for mid-table, but still only 3 points ahead of the Pillagers, who sit 1 spot above the relegation zone. That's so much points, so many points. That's 100 points sitting in the chest of the Pillagers, and just 10 for the Lush Dwellers. So the Pillagers off to a very strong lead here. It's 100 to 10 with 16 presses remaining. There's another piece of netherite for the Pillagers and 1 for the Lush Dwellers as well. They also got a gold. Lush Dwellers getting some big points, but it's not going to be enough to catch the Pillagers right now. So it's 135 for the Pillagers. Looking to extend this lead. 10 presses to go. There's a piece of iron for them. It's their second. They got a redstone as well. 3 more points for the Lush Dwellers. They are still going to need a miracle here if they want to catch up. Pillagers still up by 65 presses to go. We did see a gap of this margin almost get overturned in our last game, but I think that was an emerald for the Pillagers, which might as well seal it. It was. Another piece of netherite. Oh my goodness. 2 more emeralds, and I think another gold. There's no way, right? No, this emerald is certainly enough. Well, let's find out. Well, these teams are certainly trying to give us some entertainment. Pillagers 166, which was enough to take down the Lush Dwellers, who got all the way up to 161 on that final. They did overturn that margin of 60 points, but the Pillagers, that extra emerald, enough to take the win. Imagine it was like an iron or something. They didn't get those 20 points. They'd be on a 149 and would have lost their, well, probably like, was that 6th straight game. But they are going to win here in Clockworkos, which is what their last win was. Their very last win was in Clockworkos. The gold medal, 264. So this can be expected of them, and it is going to be taking the silver away from the Sunrays, who now drop to bronze, and the Diamonders still on gold. Could the Pillagers get another medal and escape a relegation? We shall see. A couple high-scoring games recently, but we are now halfway through this thing. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy this. Comment down below an idea that you have for a team name, and you could potentially see your team featured in the Sim League for next season. If there is next season, which hopefully there is if we fill that out. And And then, yeah, make sure to share this with someone that you think will enjoy. I'm going to be doing a lot of other simulator content throughout the year. But we are on to matchup number 7. It's the Whitewoods and the Phantoms. It's match number 7, the Whitewoods and the Phantoms. We get on our first press here. It's going to be an emerald. I think that was an emerald. It was indeed an emerald for the Whitewoods. They are going to take the lead. And they lead 20-0, 20 presses to go here. Our first 5 presses of the game. And some points going either way. Just 5 for the Whitewoods, but I don't think the Phantoms got enough to pass them. It's going to be pretty tight here with 16 to go. And it's 25-20 with 15 presses to go. Pretty low scoring so far. Oh, one more. There we go. And it is a gold for the Phantoms. We got another right here for the Whitewoods. Some golds for the Phantoms there. The Whitewoods here going to extend their lead. 53. And the Phantoms, 20 points, just go up to 40. So the Phantoms doubling their lead up to 40. Not enough to catch the Whitewoods, though. To storm all the way up to 53 with 10 presses to go here. Some small points going either way. Another diamond for the Phantoms as well as an emerald. But the Nether Star dropped for the Whitewoods. I think that was their only points, but that's really all they need. With 5 presses to go, they are going to be up big. Well, it wasn't as big as I thought. 20 point is the lead for the Whitewoods. As our final press comes in, it's going to be an emerald. That will drop for the Phantoms. And another eye as well. Could that see the comeback win? It probably did. Only a few points here for the Whitewoods. Oh my goodness. Despite getting another star, the Phantoms coming from behind here. So the Phantoms making it look like it was their game all along. Getting up to 143 there at the end. Just the Whitewoods 107. Not going to be enough for a medal here for the Phantoms, but a good deserved win nonetheless. 5 matches to go. Let's get right back into it. And it's on to matchup number 8. We got the Bonebos taking on the Savannah Cats. Bonebos and Savannah Cats match number 8. Drop number 1 here. It's going to be 5 points for the Bonebos. Let me get into our next 5 drops here. Bonebos in the lead, but 5 points really is nothing in Clockworkos. There's another right. It bounces back. Oh my goodness, I thought it was going to bounce into the Savannah Cats. They got nothing at all. That is only 4 drops. Guess I only did 4 there. And it is going to be the Nether Star. And the Nether Star apologizing for my mistake. And the Savannah Cats are actually going to take the lead here. So with just 1 drop, the Savannah Cats take the lead. It's 50-42. 16 drops to go. Some points going either way. Iron to each side. And want to get anything else? The emerald for the Bonebos. And that could see them take the lead here. So the Bonebos now up to a narrow lead with 10 presses to go here. Pretty exciting stuff so far. What did I just see drop for the Savannah Cats? Another right for them. I think it might have been a gold there. And I don't think anything dropped here for the Bonebos. So the Savannah Cats collecting all the points that round. And they're up to 133, storming away from the Bonebos. And that, I think, was another piece, another right for them, as well as a diamond. And that surely is going to end it. So Savannah Cats equaling their total from cycle number 1 and getting the gold medal for now as well, 199, which takes the bronze away from the Sunrays. The Diamondeers are now down to silver, and the Pillagers going to have to settle for bronze as it stands, as we are now 2/3 of the way through this thing. 4 matches to go. Let's get right back into it. And we move on to matchup number 9. It's the Copper Golems and the Dog Pack. So it's time for match number 9, Copper Golems and Dog Pack. First drop, here we go. It is going to be a piece of netherite, and it is going to be for the Dog Pack. And they'll start off with 25 points as we get into our next 5 drops. Dog Pack leading here, though 25 has not been known to be a significant margin. That lap has bounced back and forth quite a few times and eventually ended up in the pit for the Copper Golems. 10 more points for the Dog Pack as well. They will maintain their lead. So just 35 to 23 here after 6 drops. Into our second set of 5 here. An emerald there for the Dog Pack. And a netherite as well for them. That's their third piece of netherite. But the nether star for the Copper Golems going the other way. Oh, this is going to be pretty close here. Let's calculate this. The Dog Pack still holding onto the lead, but barely. Did that drop? I think that only dropped to 1. Let's get 4 more drops here. It was a piece of netherite to the Copper Golems, which is going to be huge for them. Did they just get 2? Did they just get 2 pieces of netherite? And the Dog Pack, I think, just got passed and gapped. And I just realized I wasn't showing the scoreboard the whole time. Sorry about that. Copper Golem's up 149 to 107 with 5 presses to go. Our last 5 presses here, of course. Well, 42 isn't a huge margin to overcome, but the momentum is currently in the Copper Golem's favor. That's yet another piece of netherite. Another piece of netherite as well for the Dog Pack. That's 100 points just in netherite alone. Oh my goodness. This score is going to be big. Let's add this up. So the Copper Golems getting the win. It was 176 to 150 in the end. A big score. And an impressive one from both teams in a week that has been pretty low scoring. That will earn a medal for now. Pillagers lose their bronze medals. Diamondeers will stay on silver, so there's a bronze medal for the Copper Golems as it stands with 3 matches to go. Let's get right back into it. And it's our third to last match in Clockworkos this season, and our first piece is going to be a netherite. It's bouncing around. And it does end up in the violets. That it went all around there. 25 points for the violets. They are going to start off very nice here. And we move on with our next 5 button presses. There's another right for the edge. And our redstone. And the nether star as well for the edge. So they're going to get up to a big lead here. But the violets with an emerald able to keep pace, albeit a little bit slower. It'll be 10 button presses to go after this. And everything now dropping for the edge. And only 1 point for the violets there. So, wow, big score here for the edge. And the edge have lengthened their lead here. There's another right. Oh, they both go to the edge. One looked like it was ready for the violets, and they're going to get absolutely nothing. Maybe an emerald. I think an emerald there for the edge, or for the violets, or 2 maybe. And some big points given out on either side, but there is practically no way the violets can catch the edge here. With 5 button presses to go, and that, I believe, will see the gold medal go to the edge. Some big points all around. They're going to pass the Savannah Cats here. No more points for the violets. It's all gone to the edge, and the edge will break 200 here and get the gold as it stands. And the edge with the huge win and the gold medal, 233 to the violets, 91. And that gold medal could really help out the edge, because I think it might even be with the violets there in 4th or 5th. Pretty close to the top, so that will help them out. And it is the Savannah Cats still on silver. And then it is the Diamondeers now on bronze with 184 points. We've got 2 matches to go. Let's get right back into it. As we move on to matchup number 11, it's the Tritons and the Chargers. And this is a match between juggernauts. The Tridents sitting in fourth place as it stands, with the Chargers in second. Not very close on points, about, I think, 17 points apart. 1 point here for the Chargers. But, yeah, I think about 17 points apart. But the Tridents, this would be a big win if they're able to get it. And there's a diamond for them. Where's the netherite going to go? It is also going to go to the Tridents. So they're going to get off to a very nice start here. And with 15 button presses to go, Tridents have taken the lead from the Chargers here. And another star will go to the Tridents. That could see the victory already, as the Chargers just get some small points here. Let's add this up. The Tridents lengthening their lead here at halftime. They're up to 100 already. Not likely on track for a medal, but they're getting some big points here. That was a pretty decent score. And just 20 more, that might actually be another diamond as well for the Chargers. But the Tridents continuing to climb here with our last 5 button presses of match number 11. And now the points are headed over towards the Chargers, but it is probably too little too late. A decent amount of scoring there. I think about 50 points, but again, nowhere near enough. I think the Tridents just got one, but it will be enough to take the win. And it's a cruise to victory for the Tridents in the end, which is more than some of these other teams can say, with no late charge from the Chargers. Pun not intended. I'm so tired right now. Sorry if I'm being a little bit quiet. Yeah, Tridents 151, Chargers 109, so no medal for the Tridents, but they do get the 2 points for the win. And that's not good for the Chargers, who need some more points if they want to get back at the Flyers, who they are now, I believe, 20 points behind. But nevertheless, we move forward on to match number 12, which is going to be the Undead and the Hive Mind. And a win here will do either of these teams very good, as they both sit in the relegation zone. Here is a diamond to the Undead to start us off. And we move on with our next 5 button presses. And there's a netherite for the Hive Mind and a diamond as well. They got 2 diamonds there. And just 5 points for the Undead, so the Hive Mind going to take a big lead here. And the Hive Mind up by 30. As it stands, 15 button presses to go here, though. The last game in Clockworkos this season. You'll have to wait till next year to see it again. If we see it at all, I don't know. Hasn't really been getting a whole lot of views, the Sim League, so maybe I'll just scrap it all together, but we'll see. Hopefully it sticks around. Some big points here for the Hive Mind, and they will lengthen their lead. We move on with our next few button presses. Yet to see the Nether Star. There's a piece of netherite for the Undead. That seems to be their only points that they got. And the Nether Star for the Hive Mind. How did I not see that? Must have been one of the first few drops for them. They are certainly running away with this one now. And we are not going to speak of the current score for the Undead, as we have our last 5 button presses of Clockworkos this season in the Sim League. Points going all over. Just 1 diamond and 2 more emeralds for the Hive Mind. They could even be looking for a medal here, and I think they've got it. Let's add this up and let's get out of here. And the Hive Mind will get the win and the medal. 216 points for them in the end, to the Undead's 82. So it will be the Edge grabbing the gold, and the Hive Mind now snatching away the silver, which could see them out of the... I think it will see them out of the relegation zone. That is a very good result for them. Exactly what they wanted. And then the Diamondeers on 184, but actually it'll be the Savannah Cats, who won gold in Cycle 1 with their score of 199, now getting the bronze. with that 199 score. And so let's put those in real quick and let's do our standings. And there we go. All of the medals coming from our last 5 matches here. The Edge 233. Not enough to break the record of 264 set by the Pillagers last cycle, but it is a win nonetheless. And the Hive Mind 216 points. Enough for the silver. Anything above 200 in Clockwork is pretty good, seeing as the Savannah Cats in cycle 1 scored 199, got the gold, but not to be this cycle as they put up the same score, but they will get bronze here, which is enough to best the Diamond Deers 184, and Pillagers 166, and my Sunrays 161. But wins nonetheless all around. And this is going to shake up our standings. Let's take a look at it here. And here is how our table is looking. Flyers, of course, remaining on top of the table with another win this week, 72.5 for them. Chargers on 51, still in second. The Edge, though, catching them, jumping up to 46.5. They've got 2.5 golds, which is the most of any team in the league. They've just not been fortunate when it comes to wins outside of those gold medals. They've got quite a few medals, actually, but pretty much every time they win, they get a medal. But they haven't really won very often, so 46.5 points for them. Savannah Cats jumping over the Tridents with their bronze medal today, up to 38 points, with the Tridents getting a win up to 36.5. Jockeys now on 32. Cherries 30.5, and the Sunrays still rounding out the top 8 at 26 points, with Sniffers and the Violets 24 and 23.5 rounding out the top 10. We go all the way down here. Hive Mind with their silver medal jumping all the way out of the relegation zone, although they're still just 3 points above it. It's crazy that this is 5.5 points is mid-table, like probably closer to, I think that's like closer to the top of the table. That's 12th place. So that is the bottom of the top half, is only 5.5 points above the relegation line, which I think is kind of crazy. So the Hive Mind jumping out with the silver medal today, and then we have a 3-way tie on 15 points. The Pillagers have a gold, which is why they're ahead of the Whitewoods and the Diamond Deers. The Whitewoods have half a bronze, and the Diamond Deers still yet to get a medal this season. So they currently sit in the relegation zone with the Bucketheads of the Royal Hogs and the Undead rounding out the bottom of our table. We've got this new leaderboard, which is showing the leaders in points for the cycle. The Edge, of course, with gold medal this week. It's pretty basic. Everyone's got 2 points. I added these 2 to the end because technically they are tied with everyone up to here who didn't get a medal. So from the Copper Golems to the Tridents, they're all just in alphabetical order, but they're all technically tied because you can tie theoretically for the cycle win, but it's very unlikely. But the Edge with the gold medal currently in first, Hive Mind silver in second, and Sunrays getting the bronze. Or sorry, that's the Savannah Cats getting the bronze, sitting in third, and then from fourth all the way down here to 12th, all the rest of the winners this week, basically tied for fourth. So, but all of them are 2 points. It can still be shaken up. Even a team not on this leaderboard could still come back to win the cycle. We have yet to see, as the season will come to an exciting conclusion. We've got just 5 weeks to go now. Disparchery will be next week, our final matches of Disparchery for the season. Clockworkos is done and dusted. We might not even see it next season, if there is a next season, because I am thinking about switching some of the mini games up, because a few of them are a little bit repetitive, just with like something coming out of a dropper, and I've got basically 3 games like that. 4 Feathers and Disparchery are also pretty similar, so we might see some games being switched around. So that could have been our final game of Clockworkos ever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know it is kind of, I feel like one of the more boring games, but it's all right. And we're through it now. If you want a team in the second division that will have a chance to play in the Sim League next season, all you got to do is comment down below. We've got 2 already. We got the Gothic Warriors suggested by David, and the Blood Rose is suggested by Yuki. All you got to do is comment. That's really all you got to do. Comment a team name, and I will put it in. That will be it, and you will get a chance to have your team in the Sim League for next season, and hopefully I'm going to be a little bit better at editing by this time next year. So hopefully the Sim League will be a little bit smoother, a little bit cleaner, and a little bit better looking. But with that, we move on. Now done with week number 13, on to week number 14 as we near the end of the Sim League season. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you've watched every episode, that's crazy because you're one of like 5 people on each of my videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate each and every view that I get because I don't get very many. If you're here, just comment anyway, like say hi, whatever. I don't know. If you've watched till the end, I really appreciate you, and I'm glad you're enjoying my content because otherwise, why would you watch the whole thing? Unless you're some weird kind of hater stalker thing. But anyway, I don't know. I appreciate the view nonetheless. So, with that, I want to thank you all so very much for watching. Subscribe and see ya.